As of this point, I've made around 5 JoJo shorts / TikToks within the past week or so, as I've recently been getting back into JoJo's because of the Part 6 anime and the new batch, and I realised something upon making these shorts. JoJo fans are dumb. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them are just the fakest people on the planet who have no idea what they're talking about and have the most outlandish claims despite probably not even watching or reading JoJo and only consuming it through dumb clips on YouTube. Or maybe they have read and watched JoJo but just simply didn't understand it. And that's who I'm going to talk about today. I've got some dumb comments here that were left on my videos, both on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok, and I'm just going to debunk them video by video. Right, the video from this point is unscripted and, you know, I've just got a couple of notes on topics I want to cover, but yeah, anyway. Let's get the most common and annoying comment out of the way from my short about which stands Jonathan could beat up. And that video is kind of a meme, but also somewhat, you know, educational. But in this short, I clearly say, and we know what the stand would be, as Dio uses it in part 3, and it's pretty much just purple hemp, but that's not what we're here to discuss. But apparently, a lot of the people watching didn't hear me, as the most common comment through both that short on YouTube and TikTok is that, well, actually, did you know that the world is in fact Jonathan's stand? Because if you think about it, since Dio took Jonathan's body, that would make the world Jonathan's stand. No, it's not. I saw this comment so many times, it's absurd. It got to the point where I just got so annoyed, I just kept sending the link to the wiki, like the wiki to this specific page where it's literally just called Jonathan's stand. Just to clarify, just to prove the hate is wrong. Stands are made from like the soul and the fighting spirit more so than the body. Granted, Dio has access to Jonathan's equivalent to Hermit Purple. We don't really have a name for it because yes, people call it the Passion, but that's from the like JoJo style light novels, but that doesn't count. So it's just called Jonathan's stand, right? Quick little thing. This dude commented saying that it's technically better than Purple Hermit because it doesn't break cameras when it's used, which I didn't really think about, but that's cool. That's based. This dude is based. But yeah, so people kept commenting and saying the world is Jonathan's stand. It's not, as we see, and as I say in the YouTube short. In part 3, in both the anime and the manga, we see Dio use Jonathan's stand. It's not named, even in the wiki, it's just called Jonathan's stand. But that just goes to show, that is a stand that is made through use of Hamon. Through learning Hamon, you get that stand, as we see with Joseph, and as stated by Iraqi. You know, Hamon, if you're good at that, you get Hermit Purple. The spin, you're good at that, you get Ball Breaker. It's the same thing, it's the same deal. And on top of that, Dio has access to the world. And then I kept getting a couple of comments, I can't be asked to find those ones, where it's like, oh, did you know in part 3 Dio was supposed to have every single stand? And then it's like, no, if we know for a fact that that's Jonathan's stand, and Dio has the world, I don't know where people got that theory, because we know where both of those stands came from, so I have no idea where that outlandish fucking thing came from. Like, we know where both those stands come from. He obviously doesn't have access to every stand. If he had access to every stand, why wouldn't he choose the world and cream? Like, come on. It was just the most brain dead and annoying comment ever. And on top of that, people would just comment that before even watching the video. A few people commented saying, actually, did you know? And then I would reply with that. Or people would reply with the correct answer and say, oh yeah, by the way, Jonathan's stand is pretty much just like Purple Hermit. Even though I say that like 20 seconds into the video. Play the clip again. Let's move on to the next topic. It was from the same video as well. I got a couple comments saying only stands can defeat stands, or only stand users can beat stand users, or some stupid stuff like that. As I showed in the video, I put a nice little picture of Weka Peepo on screen. And if you haven't read part 7, like in early part 7 and... Well, in early part 7, Gyro can't see stands because he doesn't have a scan yet from the part of the saint's body part, the saint corpse, or whatever you want to call it. He doesn't have Jesus' eyeball yet, right? So he can't see stands, and then he uses that eye, gets scanned, loses it, but he can still see stands, right? And also throughout that entire part, Weka Peepo is fighting people, fighting stand users, without the ability to see stands full stop. He's dope as hell. Weka Peepo, he didn't really win any like fights, but he was fighting people without the ability to see a stand. That's cool. And then on top of that, people are like, oh, only stands can beat stands. What killed Kira? Lobao. This is also a random comment I got from that same Jonathan stand video. Me and someone else were commenting about something. Can't remember what. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'm just chatting shit with random gameplay on screen. But someone commented we were just talking about how I think the art styles changed. So, like, technically speaking, Jonathan Joestar from part 1 has the same body type as Gappy, apparently, but because the art style changes, you know, you can't really tell, like, visually. So, like, they'd have the same physical strength and same body type, but you can't tell. So, like, when you look at, you know, Araki's modern, like, more modern stuff, you can see when he draws all the Joestars together. But anyway, we were just chatting shit about that, and I said, you know, it's technically true, but as a joke, that technically speaking, you know, Yoruichi from Bleach, she's 5'2". No, sorry, she's 5'1". Cross that, she's 5'1", and Koichi is 5'2" in the manga and like 4'10" in the anime, I think, something like that. And then Summer, who was wrong, decided to Google how tall is Koichi, and if you do that, the first answer that pops up is 4'2". Do you know why? Because it's not the JoJo wiki that comes up, it's the JoJo fandom wikia page, which is, don't use that, just use the JoJo wiki, it's dumb. I mean, the JoJo wiki was made because of how dumb the JoJo fandom wiki is. Just don't trust that stuff. Just trust the JoJo wiki itself, because that's sourced and that's, you know, proven stuff, that's cited. The JoJo wiki, I could probably go edit that right now. Like, it's not, it's dumb. It's really dumb. These ones aren't really dumb comments, but I've done a couple videos, like, what stands would be good when, what stands would suck when, and I made one about which stands could defeat the Pillaman, and there was a couple of comments being like, well, wouldn't Gold Experience fucking Requiem win, wouldn't Tusk Act 4 win, wouldn't Dirty Deeds, and I'm like, yeah, probably, but it's boring when you come up with like a little what if scenario. If you just go to the strongest in the verse immediately, that's boring. Like, oh my god, do I think I don't know, who would win in a versus battle, Mariah or Vampire Dio? Off the top of my head, probably Dio, but I don't know. It'd be easy to just say who would win, Vampire Dio or D4C. Fucking D4C, obviously, but that's boring to say. Like, you gotta come up with a good versus battle. Well, as interesting as it can be. That's why I picked somewhat interesting picks for that video, but when someone's making a versus battle, just, those aren't dumb comments, but I understand them, but just know that in most versus scenarios, yes, GER would probably win, yes, D4C would probably win, yes, Tusk Act 4 would probably win, like, yeah, but it's boring, and it's expected at this point. If it's a top 10 list of what could beat what, those are just the most, you know, off the top of your head picks, those are boring, but anyway. Yeah, I got into like a full little TikTok debate with a couple people. I cannot find them, like the screenshots. If I do, I'll put them up on screen. But basically, for some reason, people don't believe that the final battle with Dio in part 3 takes over, like, it's only a couple minutes long. Like, I know a lot of stuff happens, like, Kakyoin dies, and then fucking Joseph dies, and then Polnareff comes from behind and stabs Dio, and then, like, a lot of shit happens in the road, like, shit keeps happening, right? And it's, like, at least it's like an episode or two, right? There's a couple chapters. But canonically, in time, in universe, it's only, like, a couple minutes. Like, it's not long at all. It's the equivalent of, like, in 5 minutes, Namek will explode. And then fucking 9 episodes later, in 4 minutes, Namek will explode. It's like that. It's the same sort of stuff. It's like, since people see it on screen, moving fast, they assume time's going faster as well. No, it's, hey, I don't make the choices, but, you know, canonically in world, we know it's like, it's less than half an hour. That entire battle is less than half an hour, less than 20 minutes. Like, it's not long at all. Like, that entire fight is just nothing. On the same video about stands that would suck in part 2, like, someone was telling me how, you know, Jotaro, like, how the fight between Jotaro and Dio takes place until the sun comes up. And, like, they completely forget that, like, when Dio is blown apart, it's still nighttime, and they kind of have to wait till sunrise. Like, I had a bunch of people saying, oh, no, they fought till sunrise, bro. No. And another one was, at the end of this video, I say Cheap Trick as a joke, and people were having, like, a full debate whether or not Cheap Trick would actually be viable to put on cars, and that, so he would die. And I don't know. People deadass trying to figure out whether or not Cheap Trick could kill. No. I got a couple more goofy comments that I, like, couldn't find, or maybe they've been removed. I'm not sure. But I've talked about those goofy comments now. Let me know if you like this type of content. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's more relaxing. I'm not reading off a script for once. It's quite therapeutic, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just looking at the fucking audio levels just move up and down. It's nice instead of looking at words on a screen for once. It's good. and it's a lot easier to edit. Just put gameplay on screen and random images. I mean, that's what most JoJo tubers do anyway, so anyway. Listening back to my voice and editing it, I sound really lethargic. God damn. Thanks again for watching. I don't really know how I feel about this type of content. It's a lot easier, but let me know what you thought about it. But hey, I enjoyed watching gameplay and playing JoJo's and talking about JoJo's, so hey, let me know what you thought. I'm probably going to make more videos about JoJo in the future that are actually scripted, but for now, I just felt like, you know, I kept getting so many dumb comments telling me that Jonathan's stand was the world, so I kind of felt the need to come out with this mostly just for that, for my sanity. But yeah, I'm going to be really busy this week. There'll be a Vivinos video coming out this week because there's no rest for the wicked, and I'm going to try and get the second layer of the creepy iceberg out. I've said it many times, I'm sorry, I'm trying, okay. But yeah, that being said, thank you for watching very much, and let me know what you thought about this kind of stuff. Thanks again, Doodles my doodles, let me know what you thought, and peace.